Morning guys, just decided to make a off the cuff video really. I have said in the bio of me channels that I will do videos about my journey, what I'm feeling, how I'm seeing things happening and whatnot. It might feel a little bit like a rambling, and I'm sorry if it does. Some things I just wanted to cover off today. In the main I want to talk about Tcat, this mega burn that is coming in tomorrow. On the 22nd of September 2024 is insane, really. It's something that's never been done before. The amount of sacrificial burn, and something I don't think many people have given much credit to is the fact that the Ghost team are relinquishing so many tokens of so much monetary value. It's crazy if you think about it. I seen a video yesterday with Tyrell and Crypto Pabby, and he's given, I think he's given in $300,000 worth of tokens, and yes, they're going to share a pot and get a smaller amount, but then get an amount of Tcat back after the burn, but a much smaller amount. And I don't care how rich you are, how much money you've made in crypto, that's a big ask, to be putting that kind of money forward to be burnt of your own money. It just goes to show, how much conviction these guys have obviously got in the project, in the narrative, in PPP, and in Tyrell. I don't think it's been spoke about too much really, other than just the fact of this is what's happening. But I think like all of the guys, I think there's 24 of them in Ghost, need a massive amount of credit from everybody in the community for doing what they're doing. It's frightening really. If you sit down and analyse it, it's quite scary. So yeah, it remains to be seen what will happen with the burn. Obviously I think it's going to be spectacular, the YouTube live tomorrow, and I can't wait to watch. I'll be there. I've spoke a little bit to people this week. Generally, a bit of a backstory, I work from home more or less all the time, but this week I was volunteering somewhere in the city where I live, Newcastle, and I was volunteering at a veterans centre, so a place where when veterans come out of the various forces and they sort of have some struggles in reintegrating into society, it's a place where they live. It's like little bed sits, had a lovely sort of garden and a pond, and some guys were painting, I was doing some gardening, that kind of thing. Really good. And I was speaking to some of my colleagues when I was there about crypto, and I'll be honest with you, it's a lot of vague faces because the masses aren't in crypto, as we all know, and there's a lot of people just don't understand, I don't know where to look, or aren't interested, possibly all of the above, pretty much. And I was telling them about some of the gains that I'd seen within Tcat, TSE, that kind of thing, and they were staggered that I hadn't sold it. Now, I've spoke about this before. I hadn't sold it, or some of it, or all of it, and put it into something else. And I said to them, I get your point, and yeah, it is a big amount of money, but big relative to us and the wages sort of thing. And I had a pot of money that went down 90% like everybody else, more or less. But had I sold it, that's not the PPP way, and I firmly believe, and I'm firmly on board with the PPP narrative and the mindset. And I can see the longer term vision of this being huge, which it's shaping up to be, which I think we all would agree. And then B, what would I have done with the money? So I'm thinking more beyond. So alright, say I've sold half or sold all of it, which I wouldn't, but if I did, what would I do with the money? And basically, Tcat was the biggest conviction, and TSE were the biggest conviction players that I had, and Tcat now is. So, little point in selling and putting the profits into something that I'm less convicted about, that I don't think will do as well. You could put it into Brett and you might get a 5x or whatever, 10x, whatever. Or you could put it into, I don't know, name any, there's loads, isn't there? Where you could make money, don't get us wrong, but none of the plays are, for me, as high. I haven't got as high a conviction in anything else than Tcat right now. So when they're saying sell it and buy something else, well, I would only buy this again. So what's the point in that? You can play that game where trying to sell and then buy lower. I've done that with things in the past, and believe you me, that can go spectacularly wrong to the point where you can sell it and then have to pay double to get back what you already had. So I'm not playing that game. I prefer, I don't see there being a problem with dollar cost averaging. You buy a little bit at a time and you just build up. And ultimately, when it goes where it's going to go, you want to be happy regardless, aren't you? Rather than trying to risk and scrimp an extra 5-10% by flipping and trading. Some people work it and work it well and good on them, but the stress and the pressure and the constantly watching the chart and all of the stuff that would come with trying to do that would just write me off. I just wouldn't. I'll be a mess. So I just buy, hold. That's my strategy. I've spoke about that before on here. So ultimately, if I sold it, I would just buy it back. So there's no point. But I'll probably have to buy it back higher, because that's generally the way it works, isn't it? You sell it and then it goes up. So no, I'm on board with the PPP. I'm sticking. Not twisting. I am sticking with the PPP. I'm sticking with Tyrell. I'm sticking with the Ghost team. I'm sticking with Tcat, and let's see where we run to. It's difficult sometimes to not let not FOMO as such, because I'm happy with what I've got in terms of a bag, but it's hard to not play out in your head where it might go and how much that could equate to and all those sorts of things, but just trying to be a bit more grounded, keep your feet on the ground, I suppose, like everybody else. I'm guessing everybody that's watching this is more likely has high conviction in Tcat. Probably you may not stumble upon this video or seen it when I've shared it on any of the groups, sort of thing. What I did share yesterday, and I do want to bring up, and it's possibly a little bit sort of far out and a bit wacky, but I want to share it anyway, just because it's how I felt at the time I posted it and still do. I posted in the Tcat chat during the voice call yesterday, which I'm in most voice chats, but more often than not, I'm running around with one earpod in, making tea for the kids, dinner for the kids, or something. So I'm not really interacting and speaking, but I'm listening. So I'm there. What I said was, it feels a little bit like fate to me that I've ended up in Tcat through all of the scams, rug pulls, getting the wallet hacked, days in crypto, all the pain really. And I suppose what I'm saying is it feels a little bit of sort of what comes around goes around karma, insofar as, if you're there long enough and you're looking and you're working and you're trying, that fate will get you to a point somewhere along the line where you can be a winner for a change instead of just an early and also ran nearly win. The amount of projects I've been in, and it's like, I think this is the one, and then something happens and it isn't, and it's right frustrating, and it's a kick in the teeth at times. Look, I'm not talking like silly money. But what projects where I thought would do a 50, 100x, things like that, and for whatever reason they don't work out. It's just felt like it feels like this is a bit of payback. Like, so now you get a chance to be on the other side of all of that, and that's how I feel about it. So that's what I posted. It's everyone's journey is different. I don't know what people watching this' thoughts are on that. Was it a stroke of luck you found this place, this community? Was for me, really, just stumbled upon it. But you make your own luck, because I was looking for things, and I'm always looking for things, so I guess you do make your own luck. But it just, I'm thinking that's the way I'm thinking. It's a bit of sort of time served, if you like, in all sorts of other projects that have left a not fulfilled feeling, I suppose. And now will have a chance to be on the other side of that. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. A little bit of ramblings. People speaking about wallets as well on the voice chat frequently, and I can guarantee you the more the product the project does well and your bag grows, the more anxiety that will cause you if you haven't sorted out a safe haven for your wallets, for your funds, for your tokens, and you don't want to be sketching around, scratching about, worried that you've got a massive or a bigger chunk of money to lose potentially to scams or whatever. Once you've attained that level. So what I would say is just do a little bit of looking around for some hardware wallets, or get yourself a. David made a good point where you can use an old phone as sort of like a hardware wallet. I still wouldn't say that it's as good an option, but it is a better option than just having your wallet constantly connected to the internet. So that could mean that you just get an old phone. What I would say about that is make sure that it's not massively old, because you still need to have security patches on phones and things like that. You don't want it to be a phone that it could be hacked, basically, because it's run out of its security. It's like 5-year-old or whatever. So yeah, just feeling that, just get a hardware wallet. $60 or something, man. What's that when what's that to protect something that's going to be worth more than that, I would say. So yeah, I'll put the link in here again if anyone wants to look at the tangent video I done. It's another little bit of a rambling video. I made it off the cuff the other night when people were really worried about wallets. A lot of the VC chat was about wallets. So I'll pop that in the link down here. It doesn't hurt to have a look. Skip through it. Just watch us on ×3 or whatever if you want. I know that I ramble a little bit, like I've said before. I prefer just to make these videos like this, and I just straight through. I like watching a lot of YouTube live stuff, and it's it's real, isn't it? And there's no editing, and I haven't fudge bits about or whatever. So I just run it through, but as a consequence, some of it might be a bit of waffle. And just fast forward it, simple as that. Yeah, cool. I'll leave it here for now, and we'll see where we are this time in a week's time, this time in a few days' time. But the main thing is the community are strong, standing together. Everyone's pulling the same direction. I've said this from the very beginning. Last thing, I promise, I've just remembered this. I've said this from the very beginning, that I felt like the Ton ecosystem, Tcat, TSE, the stars are aligning for something massive to happen. And every little thing that happens along the way now, it just seems to be verifying that. The Open League was cancelled and there was a bit of a blow, and then this new Memelandia comes out of the blue, comes from left field, and you're thinking, it's like a lot of things are lining up nicely, perfectly, to be a perfect storm. Stars are aligning. Again, I suppose like a spiritual, a fatey sort of situation that I've just spoke about, and that's not me as a person either, really. Fate and all of that sort of thing. It's not really me. But yeah, this feels special, and I hope I come back and watch this in a year's time and have a copy of this on my wall or something. You know what I'm trying to say anyway. All right, I'll leave it there because I know that I definitely am waffling now. Right, thanks guys. Bye bye.